Okay, so Bong Girk, meaning winged leg, is quite similar to the Bong Sao of the upper body, in that it isn't the first move I'm particularly going to go for. It's not a block, like the Bong Sao, where I'm just looking to go shin on shin Thai boxing style. Okay, so what happens there is my opponent has kicked to the inside of the leg, right? So as he gives me this kick over here, I'm delivering the Bong Sao like so. Okay, but if I could help it, if I was a little bit further away and I have the time, he delivers the kick, I'd much prefer to give him the kick, come forward, and deliver punches to the upper gates over here. But let's just say that I'm too late, or I'm too close. So we're here in this scenario over here, Jiwan throws a kick, and I end up doing the bongo. Now, I want to use the hard part of my leg on the soft part underside of his, okay? So either I can use my shin or even the top of the ankle over here. And I can either aim for his hamstring or going further down towards his calf over here, right? So this way I'm able to diminish the effects of his kick or deflect it, and maybe even cause some pain whilst protecting any kind of vital areas, and I'm still able to go forward and punch it with no issues over here. In the Wing Chun system, they like to say that the legs defend the legs and the arms defend the arms. It makes sense if you think about it. If I get kicked, I'm not going to use like a karate style block. You know, no disrespect to karate, but I'm not going to do this style of block where I'm going to break my arm and then he can hit me in the head. Or I may successfully defend his leg attack and he can come and attack me up top over here. Okay? So some other scenarios where I can use the bongo. It all depends on what distance I am from my opponent. So if I'm a little bit closer, maybe we're in this situation over here where our feet are close or actually touching. He decides to give me a sneaky kick either to my groin or my other leg. I can feel it, and I can stick with him and deflect it and then carry on the same as I did before. We could also be in this scenario where we're in a clinch distance over here. So as he gives me the knee, he starts to pull me down and deliver a knee to my body. I can again, in this situation, I definitely want to keep contact with his leg. As he gives me the knee, I can now deflect it, give him a counter kick or step down the knee, whichever I want to do, however I want to follow up. Okay, so these are, depending on the distances, some ideas on how to use the Bong Girk. Now, there are some ways that are like last second, last ditch attempts to defend myself. So for instance, we could be in a street situation, we're talking, this guy is an experienced street fighter and he's decided to maybe throw a kick to my groin over here. There's nothing wrong with literally, as I get kicked, throwing like a knee-jerk reaction, literally a knee-jerk reaction where this movement is happening. This is still a Bong Girk. Okay, it's not ideal, but it stops me from getting hurt. So I can literally just defend myself, carry on with punching up here. Now, there's one situation that I like to use the Bong Girk as well. In our particular style of Wing Chun, we do a lot of pressure testing and a lot of sparring. And depending on how good his timing is and how well versed he is in sparring and full contact fighting, there is a likelihood that he's going to kick me, right? And we're going to be in this situation where the kick is coming and we're here and it's too late. I've just seen it now. It's too close for me to try and punch him. I could try, but I'm still going to get kicked and maybe I can't even reach him. It's too late for me to do any kind of footwork and try and skillfully move around this. So now what? Am I expected just to take the kick because I'm not allowed to do a Bong Girk against it? Not really. In the last ditch attempt, I will do a Bong Girk, but I'll have a very, very yin energy, a relaxed energy. So I'll start to absorb with my whole body over here. Okay, if I have no choice, of course. So as he kicks me, I'll absorb it, come back in and hit him if I have no choice, right? It's better than getting kicked. Anybody that watches MMA, for instance, you've seen the Chris Weidman versus Anderson Silva match where Chris Weidman actually does this technique. He puts a bit more of a yang energy on it actually, and he snaps Anderson's leg. You know, sometimes even in the sparring situation, I will give a bit of a shock to his leg because, yeah, it may hurt me, but it's going to hurt him a lot more if I use the right part of my conditioned shin on the weak part of his. Of course, this isn't what I want to do initially. If he kicks me, ideal situation, okay? But I've got no choice, I will absorb and carry on and hit him up here. Now, some exercises in order to develop the Bong Girk, because if you've just started Wing Chun, you may lack the dexterity in the hips, knees and ankles. So an exercise I like to do is the shin box switch. Okay, so I'll get Jeevan down here. He sits down over here and he has his legs in a 90 degrees position. Okay, sole of his feet on his knee and the other foot folded to the rear, and both of his sits bones on the floor. From here, yeah, if you could rotate for me. If you go back to the shin box, the other side, yeah. And now what he's going to do is keep his chest high, both his sits bones on the floor. He will now go to the mid position where he exhales. Both his feet are on the floor over here, and he's in this midpoint in the shin box switch. He will now drop his left knee to the floor and his right knee. So now he's changed from one side to the other. So he's in the 90 position over here. Okay? And when you're working on the mobility, all he's going to do is just go from the left to the right. Good. It's a fantastic exercise to get the dexterity, mobility in the hips if you lack these. Okay? So, from here, another great exercise to develop the stability of the leg that's on the floor and the strength and dexterity in the working leg is to go into your fighting stance, whichever fighting stance you choose, and just circle the leg. So initially, if you're on a mat like this, you can touch the floor to give yourself some extra stability, but then try and work to just circle the leg. Both sides, of course. When drilling this movement, I recommend you start from the iris position and then work the Bong Girk, defend your center line from here, and then go forward. So, Jeevan throws a kick, Bong Girk. Because if you can do it from the iris position, it's going to be much easier when you actually do it from your fighting position.